So there's a myth. Mm-hmm. Well, it was a myth rumor that the original Koch deal wasn't yours.
Definitely wasn't.
So let's talk about
fuck
that.
Fuck nah.
Because I feel like that
shit was mainly that's a story that needs to be talked about.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people don't know, and even if people don't know that era, I think it's good to know that you made something out of nothing, and the cards were stacked up against you.
100%.
So, who was the original deal for? How did you get on Koch?
I'm gonna tell this story quick. I'm gonna make it fast, nigga. When Done Deal was splitting up, Bailey had already left and signed with Jay Valentine, and at that time it was Johnny Law. It was Johnny Law Records before it was City Boys. You know what I mean? That's a fun fact right there. It was Johnny Law. He had already left. Toriano had already kind of drifted off and was doing his own thing, going what he was going through at that time. And it was me and Devo still at Done Deal, mixed in with your boy and Quinn. And if you want to add it up and keep Bailey and all them there, I was always like the last nigga on the list, but always one of the most important niggas, but always the last on the list as far as the roster.
Yeah.
So, but they understood. So Quinn wanted to split Done Deal. He wanted to get away from Chuck at that time, and Chuck was at that time already deep into negotiations with Koch for a San Quinn deal. The whole time it was a San Quinn deal. And it was like Done Deal was splitting up. Quinn, I was meeting with Quinn and all the big homies and stuff that was going to be a part of the new Done Deal. And they made me the president. They made me 25% owner. All this type of shit I was in. And it was just a decision that had to be made. But it was one night the crew was going. We met, and then the crew was going to go to KMBL and like announce it and kind of denounce Chuck on the air, like straight up. Like Quinn was gonna say, "Nigga, Chuck ain't got nothing to do with Done Deal. I want to set the record straight," because he didn't want that to kind of interfere with the Done Deal business, because Chuck had such a big presence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that night because Chuck that whole time was hitting me on the side, just texting me every day, Richie, like, this deal is real. Don't, like, believe me. Like, for real, like, come with me. Because you know, like, me and him had a close relationship outside of the music. And even though I wasn't a top dog up there rapping at that time, I meant a lot to the label still, right? Which is why they made me the president and all that type of stuff moving forward. So he just kept telling me. And it was like the timing was just set up. So that night when everybody was going to go up to KMBL, I literally had something to go do, and that kind of saved me. You know what I'm trying to say? Because it was like I couldn't go to the thing, and then I don't even think they ended up going to go do it either.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
That would have been in history right there if they would have did it. They didn't end up going to go do it, and at that time, it's kind of like when I made the decision that for my career, I was going to go with Chuck because I would have been first with Chuck, right? As opposed to going over in a new situation with your boy Quinn, they was already stars. Yeah, I would have just been a supporting cast, and I don't know what would have happened. You get what I'm saying? So it wasn't that the business wasn't right at Done Deal. It was me waiting on my shot was the thing, but quiet as kept, Quinn was still supposed to sign the deal. So, nigga, I had Quinn's contract and my contract, and I printed it out at Kinko's. And I was supposed to go bring it to Quinn. I was on the way.
So two Koch contracts.
Two Koch contracts.
Really? So you had a contract even.
I only had my deal because of Quinn though. I literally was only getting signed in like a label situation. It was gonna be like a label deal for Done Deal.
Got it.
You get what I'm saying? And Quinn was gonna be the premier project.
The package.
The Rock was gonna be the Koch album.
Right.
And like I was like gonna be after him again, but I wasn't tripping because I'm like, me and Quinn, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, let's rock. Like, I was already his hype man on all of the shows at that point. It was going to be a good thing. Because at that point, your boy was on fire. Your boy didn't need nobody at that point. Like, SMC was all the way behind him. He was a star. So, he didn't need Quinn over at Done Deal to keep his status, right? So, and as I was on my way to go give Quinn a contract, Quinn just called me and was like, "Little bro, take it. That's you. I'm moving forward. I'm moving on. I love y'all. We brothers for life. Just take it." He was like, "Take the deal." And I was like, "Sure, bro. Like, you feel me? They want you too, nigga. Like, this and that." He was like, "Take it." And I signed. And we just had to like roll the dice. You
Right,
feel me?
right.
Like, nigga, what's gonna happen?
Do you
So we
remember
started.
what was on the table for Quinn?
How much? A lot.
It was a
A
lot.
lot. It was definitely 6 figures all the way. It was 6 figures all of the way. Chuck had really put it together. He was working on it for a long time, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's a trip. Like, we didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because we was like, ain't no way. You know what I mean? But like, he really had it. He was telling us for a long time, and he really had that shit.
Damn.
And mine definitely wasn't 6 figures, but it was something. It was cool. And then we went out to New York and started building with them. And I had something to prove. I had to prove to them that I was worth this deal. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they was calling back home, asking people, should we sign this dude named Big Rich that's with Chuck? And niggas was like, nah, I wouldn't take that risk. It was all out of sucker shit happening behind the scenes. But
it's the Bay.
But D took a shot. But yeah, for real. D and Alan Grunblatt took a shot. And then we Chuck went and pulled out the E40 thing.
Yeah.
And that kind of sealed the deal.
The stamp.
The stamp.
The stamp, for sure.
Yeah.
How prepared were you creatively with the album? Was there an album? Yeah. I mean, of course, you had Northern Cali.
Yeah.
You had Meet the Dealers. You had That's the Business, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, nope, because That's the Business was the last song recorded for that album.
So yeah, I want to get to that. Like, so you needed an album.
Yeah, that's where Maul came in. Maul amazing. Shout out to my brother. Wouldn't have did it without him. We was just talking about this the other day. Yeah, like, nigga, I needed a producer. I needed a studio. I needed all of this. And Maul was like 15, 16 at the time.
That dude, that's another child prodigy.
Super child prodigy. And
produced the whole Gamblers album when he was.
Bro, it was crazy. That nigga really, he came through. I met him at like 15.
Mm-hmm.
But when we was doing the album, he was a little older. But yeah, bro, we was working, grinding, doing hella mixtapes, hella everything in his mama living room.
Yeah.
And just going in. And then we eventually started recording at my boy Marcello's studio, which is the same home as Da Vinci.
For sure.
And we did a lot of work over there. And once again, because of the Fully Loaded days, because of working with Bailey and learning all that shit with them, I probably did 150 records for the album too. It was hella variations. It turned into little mixtapes that we dropped.
Yeah.
It turned into all different kind of stuff. But I was prepared, but I was just figuring out how the hell it was buzz. That's all we was worried. How do we get the buzz?
Yeah.
We was worried about that. And that's when I took on this 3-story gang shit. That's when I was like, okay, we got to stand out. We got to be a movement. And at that time, you know, Dipset, G-Unit, all of them was doing that thing. So we wanted to be that out here.
Yeah.
And we kind of started taking on that persona.
So how at what point in that whole process was it when you were like, okay, I'm gonna get some features, and then because you had some big features at the time, you had damn near all the D Block.
Yeah, definitely had D Block.
Who was on that album? It was Sheek.
It was Sheek
J
and
Hood.
J Hood.
And I think was Styles P on there?
No, Styles wasn't on there. We were supposed to get a Jada verse though. We were supposed to get Jada in the we got Jay. We did the whole session with J Hood, and Sheek went at the session. He was supposed to come. And then the next day, Jada and Sheek was supposed to get on It Is What It Is. And then when they sent it back, it was just Sheek.
It was just Sheek.
And he was like, yeah, Jada couldn't do it. And I was like, I'm not going to complain. It's good. Like, let's go. I got Sheek on this bitch. You know?
That was right after.
Yeah. And Jada was a superstar at that time. So it would have been rough.
That would have been the tipping point, though.
Real talk. But all of the features and stuff, really, I mean, from my recollection, all of the features... That was Big Chuck. Chuck knew what he had to go get. I think we had Clyde Carson on the record.
Yeah.
We had 40 and Be Legit, which I wish I can have a do-over. I hated that song, Elbow Room.
Yeah.
I did not want to. I was like, it was a Elbow Room was a Fully Loaded song that we was gonna do like a third album that we never finished, and I just took that song and Chuck liked it, so he put 40 and
because the hyphy movement wasn't really happening at that time, so there really wasn't a Bay Area sound yet.
It wasn't,
and you didn't really have too much to go on to say, okay, I'm gonna prepare an E40 song. Yeah, because I think he only had
that song was
he only had Breaking News at the time.
Yeah, because that song was recorded way before he had Tell Me When to Go.
Yeah,
it was recorded way before. So
and before that album was Breaking News.
Yeah,
or Grit and Grind.
It was grit and grind.
Yeah, so it wasn't really nothing to go on and measure.
It wasn't at all. It wasn't at all. And Maul did. We was like trying to find the sound, and Maul found his signature sound.
Yeah.
During that project, so we were we didn't know what the hell we was doing. Like Northern Cali was an experiment. You know where I'm from, but that was an experiment. Like he just like, look, nigga, I'm gonna start doing that break. It was just that breakdown. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the chop and screw and the hook. Like he did all that. All I did is just drop my verses on there. He told me come to the house or whatever. I was like, he's like, look, he played it. I was like, nigga, what
was the chop from?
From like a mixtape song I did. It was from a mixtape song I did. I still remember. I did it at his house. He took the acapellas and he went in.